Hello and welcome back to Trigger Happy Havoc.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Yep.
Now,
Simple
if
bait and
Taka
switch.
was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Very true.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
Very, very true.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Granted. Yeah. Huh? What was that? I came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. He's bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true! We're all in the clear!
Yeah, even you get crazy.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
Unlikely.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up!
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream.
Yep.
Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does
Agreed.
not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged
Again,
Taka's
not
body
a
out of there
style.
right then.
That's one thing you can count on with serial killers like that. It's compulsive. They have to do it. And they don't change their
Even
MO
if
on
she
a
could pull
dime.
that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
Agreed.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
Agreed.
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how.
Concur.
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
He moved himself.
That's true. We searched everywhere.
I still
but we
think this
couldn't
is.
figure out
I
how
still.
to explain
This
his
is my
body
working
disappearing.
theory, but it makes sense.
And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So the killer was able to get in, move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it.
No. I just be charitable and say 2 or 3.
But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the 3rd in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Thank you. I'm going to be smug about this case for a while, I suspect.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
Raggy! Sorry.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
And I shall now take an elaborate bow.
He was alive?
Uh-huh.
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
That would be my
But
theory.
I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Anybody check for a pulse?
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? I happen to believe it. It's been my working theory for ages. Broken wristwatch is not helpful here. Means we're gonna have to get another,
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And yet he came back to life
And you know
later.
that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Nope,
Are we really so sure about
because
that?
that was Taka's
Maybe the
body.
announcement was
Intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Nope, actually that's correct, damn it. Does that have to do with what I said? Or do you just... Alright. Damn it.
Are you
I
saying
was
that when we
agreeing with
first
her.
found Hifumi in the nurse's, there's a chance he was actually
Still alive.
No, it is
He was
impossible.
still alive.
Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body of Hifumi's dead body,
And that
is why the announcement. Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's
Yes.
discovery.
It's only made once. Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at the same time.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually...
no,
It is Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body of Hifumi's dead.
dead body had, and that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure?
Maybe the announcement.
Announcement was intended to signal someone else's
Damn it, I keep
discovery.
trying to shoot that even though it's accurate. I'm an idiot. I think I might have just died. Yep. Failed. Damn it. This is the problem. I know the solution. Yeah. You're going to accuse me of it, even though it's obvious I didn't do it.
Is
Yes, I will give it another shot.
I refuse to give up yet.
At least gets me my health back.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the... there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. If Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body of
Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is
Still
why
don't
the
think that's
announcement was
accurate.
made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Actually, yes. If we absorb someone else's discovery...
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the
Man.
nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Yes.
No,
It is impossible.
Yes, now
Hifumi
we
was
went for
dead,
her
and you know
statement.
that. Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's
dead body had been found.
No.
No,
Because the
it's wrong.
discovery, the body discovery was the one for Taka. Okay.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Because we found the damn things at the same time.
of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
Uh-huh.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
Because the announcement doesn't
First of
specify,
all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
which there weren't.
Maybe
Not until later.
Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
He's going to take offense
What do you
to that.
say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail.
But
But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
there was a second announcement later.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
That was plenty.
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
So which implies Hifumi is actually dead now.
Huh? Later on?
But that was after you moved everything around?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
So I've been assuming that Hifumi has been faking his death. Maybe not. Second body discovery announcement. First time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. The second time was when both bodies were rediscovered.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Except that Hifumi came back to life after that. A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, a class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
Nope.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
Thing is,
And
he
that's just
talked
part of it.
after that.
There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
His glasses.
I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
Yes, thank you, Jill.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
Well, yeah,
But
she's just
honestly,
dicking with
I
us
do
'cause
not
it's
think
fun.
there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Yes, Hifumi's glasses have been cleaned.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Yep.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bath, his body disappeared.
And the next time it was in.
But when you compare his body before,
Other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
There was. His glasses.
No, that's wrong! In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
Certainly.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Some glasses cleaning cloth.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
Dude liked his cartoon mascots.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera. And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
the character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
Another point on which we can concur.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true,
It does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses' owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office.
Yup.
He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see.
Logical.
Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
I love the phrase copious corpse. I'm going to try using it in future.
But then,
I don't know how it'll come with an
he was
everyday
just
conversation,
pretending
but I'll
to be
find a
dead.
way.
what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Nope.
The fridge
No,
in
we
the
have the
nurse's
blood packs
office
from the
contains
fridge.
packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere!
But he overcalculated slightly and got some on his
But he got
glasses.
crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Must have been Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
Yep.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
Makes sense.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository.
So the question is he actually dead or is
So,
he faking it?
Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yep.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Go for it.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
It was the letter.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his...
Would you guys stop getting creeped out by us properly examining corpses? Needs to be done.
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole. Maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Not quite.
Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
In this case, Taka.
And that person could only have been... I got it!
That
That's
person
right,
could only have been
Taka.
Hifumi's pants. Yes, he wrote a suicide note to his own trousers.
The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Yep.
Hello?
over here! Objection! Objection!
Yes, Jill?
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
Correct.
So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Well, that was fairly obvious.
Ugh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still. Can't let her get to me. Yes, we have our scrap of paper as evidence. None of those bullets are the helpful one.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
Nope.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
Ah, okay.
The time doesn't matter!
It does.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Because we have his watch to prove it.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered.
Yep.
We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Yep.
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Yep.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Well, at least she's willing to listen to reasoned argument.
Then someone
She's not
used
being
that note to trick
psychotic.
Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Trying to hide it.
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
He stole it?
Yep.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
I got it!
We have the scrap of paper.
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Yep, called that earlier as well.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Yep.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap.
Concur.
Did I get all that right?
Yep.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa.
I think he was the murderer.
After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
The only problem is... Up until now, that's been my working theory. The problem is we got the second body announcement, which implies Monokuma would have to be being helpful.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
But didn't he talk after that?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, But me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Yes,
Who are you
thank
calling
you.
a walrus?
Would you two tone it the hell down?
When they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and
I don't think Justice Hammers 3 and 4 were important at all, other than as distractions.
If Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours.
This has
after
something
all.
to do with that
Hell
rack
yeah,
of hammers,
it's
in
packed in
particular the
there
one that had
good
been
and
freshly
tight.
cleaned. That was the murder weapon.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
I have.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
You don't appreciate how pathetically easy to kill someone it is. You can do it with a claw hammer.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was used to kill him. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure it out. Somehow I have to find the truth. Yeah, I know what it is. It was the one that was on the wall. Exactly.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Nope.
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Damn it. Sorry.
Shoot!
What was used to kill?
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
it
yeah.
just maybe Justice?
well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody...
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its... Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice...
No, it didn't.
No, that's wrong! The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
Completely is the wrong word to use there.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Uh-huh.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris.
Except for one of them.
But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to
So
clean
who
it
the
off.
hell did it?
I'd
Who the
also
hell
like to
got
point out
inside
that the
there
repository has
and killed
all kinds
Hifumi
of hammers.
after Okay,
Big ones, small
Hifumi killed
ones,
Taka, there's no doubt about that. But who killed Hifumi?
and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
Agreed.
So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what I thought at first. Something is still hinky here. Right. That's a reasonable-ish point to pause, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next part.